By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Not dried yet. Ocular even warned us not to touch it to avoid getting any blood on us.
By covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from
Body
getting
before the
wet.
explosion.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water.
Nee, Quatsch.
Shoot!
By covering the body with the tarp,
Body... Alter, lass mich doch mal das wenigstens mal lesen, was hier da steht, Mann.
getting wet.
Body before the explosion, exploded body and...
The tarp was
Mann.
only dirty on one side is because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Ich habe keine Ahnung.
Ich glaube, das letzte musste anschießen.
Mit Body before explosion.
Ja.
Okay. Body before the explosion, gut. Okay.
The killer prevented it from getting wet.
Ansonsten, ach, dann haben wir es immer mal einmal verkackt. Ja, ist ja nicht so schlimm.
Because the sprinkler got that side wet.
Dann würde es ja wenigstens Sinn machen, wenn wenn wir verkacken und draufgehen.
It was totally spotless, right?
Ich weiß eigentlich nicht, was diese eine Sekunde jedes Mal bringen soll. Das hilft nicht wirklich.
Naja,
Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Nee.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it.
Explain.
Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right?
eben.
Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Ja, selbst wenn das Messer da so ein bisschen die Plane hochhebt. Aber so wie das Blut da ist, so ziemlich unwahrscheinlich.
Hm.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they'd used it.
Da kannst du das Ding auch gleich waschen, nicht nur die eine Hälfte, du Depp.
Are you?
If they had, they would have washed both sides.
Ja!
Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Das ist, oh Gott, Hero, ey.
Oh Gott!
Können wir den anderen Hero wieder haben, bitte?
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Was ist denn das mit Kamelen?
The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
Also so ähnlich wie was die Fumi gemacht hatte.
So ein bisschen, ja. Da wir keinen Forensiker hier haben und alles, können wir nicht überprüfen, wem das Blut gehört.
Someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
Nurse Office.
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office.
Ja.
That's what Hifumi did, right?
Yep.
When he pretended to be dead?
Schlauer Hero. Das
Ich
hat doch
glaube,
was.
er belauscht uns. Deshalb hat er das jetzt sagen können.
Ja.
No, that's not what happened this time.
Hä? Ist...
Oh, das ist absolut im Bereich der
Blood
Möglichkeiten.
right there in the garden.
Oh Gott, das Huhn.
Oh! That went dark.
Blood from right in the garden, right? Which must mean...
Alter!
I got it!
Alter, was?
No animals were harmed in the production of this game.
Fuck that!
Just this one chicken.
Just this one shit. Oh Gott. Aber wo sind da die Überreste von dem Huhn? Ja gut, Frühstück.
Essen.
Alter.
Chicken blood?
Niemand hat mich eine feige Sau.
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens. But after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood?
Damn.
What the fuck, man?
That's messed up.
Ja, schon irgendwie
Bisschen,
so ein bisschen, also ja.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
Tina! Das ist genauso wie etwas Lebens nur für so etwas töten. Man hätte was anderes essen können. Donuts zum Beispiel.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps,
But that's
but
just
even
it.
so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense. You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
Nee, das ist so aufgefallen, dass er rückwärts angezogen war.
Genau. Außerdem sind wir immer noch nicht Prime Suspect irgendwie so, dass wir beschuldigt wurden, dass wir kein Alibi haben und alles.
Na doch, da sind wir ja gerade bei. Das ist alles.
Okay, das gehört auch noch zu.
Ein riesiger
Okay, gut.
Komplex. Hm?
I think so. Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off. But the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body, the coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe, but still.
Hina, after you met up with Makoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh no, I headed off to the gym, and Makoto didn't show up till later.
Then he had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
Oh, es ist möglich, aber.
Kyoko's
Hua.
reasoning is sound. Makoto's alibi is inadequate.
Alter, liefert die uns einfach so ans Messer.
And the suspicion falls back on me again.
Sorry,
Just
mir.
because I murdered people. That's not fair, but why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand.
Okay.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one.
Who's on second?
No, who's on first?
Ah.
Makoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Du Arschloch, du dämliches!
Oh,
Nein, Hina!
See?
Tina.
Good idea, right?
Dein
Nein!
Boyfriend.
no, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Oh, Hina, ich liebe dich.
Well, don't just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
I take back what I said.
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Oh boy.
According to the Monokuma file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
Naja. Muss aber ziemlich großes Messer gewesen sein.
Vor allem, wenn das so halb rausguckt.
Eben, das ist ja dieses Michael Meyer Messer.
Aha.
Alter, ey. Horrorfilme sind so dumm.
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that
Aber
knife somewhere
unterhaltsam.
before.
Naja, gut.
That's what I thought when I first saw it. I just remembered.
Hina, don't say it. Ah, crap.
Listen, more important. Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it?
Stab someone.
We can't let Toru keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway.
So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Makoto? Me?
The knife we gave to Makoto?
Ay.
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah,
Then why did you hide that fact?
it's not that I hid it. It's just...
I'm not the fucking culprit. I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious. Very suspicious indeed.
Hmm.
The knife we found stuck in the body came from Makoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
You are an idiot.
Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I am not the killer.
Oh Gott, es ist wirklich so, alles ist umgedreht. Oder quasi ist wie der erste Fall, nur extrem. Das Geiste ist gerade
The knife we found
Lass mal
lodged in
anhören.
the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Makoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you
Stab,
are,
stab.
Makoto.
The coat was put on the body after the top was removed.
Das heißt,
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
ja, die würde ich auch nehmen. Die würde ich schon mal nehmen.
One we gave to Makoto.
Das
Really
stimmt.
is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Just because I had the knife once, that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right?
Maybe not.
So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
Ich würde sagen, das getting stabbed.
Das Getting Stabbed mit dem Disguised.
Jupp.
Okay. Weil ich wollte jetzt bloß noch mal gucken, ob da noch irgendwas anderes kam.
Aber nee, das macht halt wirklich
We gave to Makoto.
Alle anderen Sachen machen ja Sinn, ne? Die haben
Ja, ja.
uns gegeben, das ist also nicht falsch.
I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, then that seals it. Makoto did it.
Muss schon wieder aufpassen, wann es kommt.
Because I had the knife once, that automatically
Also gleich.
makes me the killer?
Well, getting
Das hier.
stabbed is what killed her.
Nee! Ah, das feels good, man.
Wait, hold on.
Wir sind so schlau.
The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her.
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
Hero, just how stupid are you actually? The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. Die Frank-File, oder?
Was?
Written down for it. Der Zustand des Körpers, der Zustand der Leiche war für jeden niedergeschrieben. Also ist doch eigentlich die Frank-File, da steht doch eigentlich mal alles drin.
Hier, da, ne?
I
Ja.
got it!
Okay.
Yes!
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. I totally forgot about that.
Ja,
Motherfucker!
ich wäre bei dem Fall aber auch komplett überfordert.
And the knife was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her. Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing.
Hui! Da fliegt sie wieder.
The explosion
Schön.
severely damaged the body,
Einfach nur schön.
making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused an atomic level spontaneous combustion.
Hero, raus! Raus! Einfach nur raus! Junge! So blöd muss man erstmal sein.
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion here. Fragments.
Ja.
Die Fragments.
The fragment!
After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
Ja, das ist schön. Wir hatten keine Ahnung, woher dieses Scheißteil kam.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma.
Genau, Monokuma ist das, worauf ich mich gerade konzentriere. Nee, jetzt mal ernsthaft. Wo soll das Stück gewesen sein?
In der Wampe wahrscheinlich.
It's part of a bomb.
Oh,
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Makoto.
Ja, das Thema hatten wir schon mal, ne? Dass ich hier ne, der Suspekte war.
And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect.
Balls in your court,
Kyoko.
bitch.
Ja, Kyoko, sorry, aber es ist...
Das hat mächtig hier backfired.
Ja.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine, I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate.
Ich bin so froh, dass wir das nicht in demselben Stream gemacht haben, ey.
Das hat echt noch ewig gedauert, ja.
Und wir hätten so versagt.
Then shall we continue the debate?
Ja, ja, muss ja.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Aha.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't you because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
The knife was covered in all those other wounds on her body weren't fresh. Which only leaves?
Then shall we continue the debate?
Kann man irgendwie nochmal gucken, was in dem Monokuma verstand?
Wenn du nochmal rankriegst, gerne. Oder soll ich draus, oder muss ich
Ah!
Kannst du nochmal richtig anklicken, oder?
Due to the explosion, the victim's identity is unknown. They were, however, dead before the blast. The victim had been stabbed a single time with a knife, which went completely through the body.
Also ist...
They had also been struck in the head with an object about as thick as a metal pipe. The body was covered with other wounds, but these were at least several days old. Also muss ein Schlag auf den Kopf gewesen sein. Schlag auf den Kopf?
Nee, warte mal. Hier.
A single time with a knife,
Das ist das, was sie umgebracht hat. Aber vorher noch auf den Kopf gedüngt. Wenigstens bewusstlos gemacht.
Okay, also war das was Hero sagt. Was a bonk to the head.
Genau, das ist irgendwo falsch.
The victim's fatal injury
1,5 Herzen haben wir ja noch, wir können also zwei
Ja.
Fehler machen.
Explosion didn't kill her.
Wir halten uns aber ziemlich gut.
Ja.
Well,
Noch kein Game Over gehabt bis jetzt.
already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't you because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
Ach nee, bei Togo, it can't be the knife. Oder irgendwie sowas, oder? Warte mal, nochmal.
Then shall we continue the debate? The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already
Das sind alles nur Auflistungen, was das hätte gewesen sein können. Der Schlag auf den Kopf, der Stich in die Brust.
And it wasn't because of the knife. Doch.
Then there's
Scheiße.
only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Ich probiere das mal bei Togo.
Versuch mal, ja. Und danach muss ich dann in die Komplettlösung gucken.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right?
Shit. Oder müssen wir wieder irgendwas einscannen?
Kann sein. Kannst du hier speichern irgendwie?
Nee.
Shit.
Oder,
Aber wir haben sowieso
kann ich?
Siehst du?
Kacke.
Shit.
Aber kann ich hier vielleicht... Ah, warte. Wir können es einfach mal so durch... Ah, sehr schön.
Wir können mal so durchgehen, okay.
Nein, okay.
The fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct? Yes. The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Guess. Well, yeah, okay. And it wasn't because of the knife. Ja. Doch, ja schon.
Und nur weil ich jetzt gesagt hatte, weil das erste war, was in der Akte aufgetaucht ist. Aber das muss es nicht unbedingt sein, weil wenn die hier schon sagen, wir müssen erstmal rauskriegen, was das war.
So because of the knife. Then there only other thing. Oh yeah, according to the Monokuma file, there was evidence that showed she was hit on the back of her head. Ja, dann wurde sie ja. Aber das hat sie nicht getötet. Oder wenn ich jetzt sage, ich scanne das ein und feuere das dann hier drauf?
Kannst du versuchen, aber irgendwie, wir wissen ja jetzt noch nicht so genau, ne?
Die Explosion hat sich getötet, das stimmt. The victim's fatal injuries have yet to be determined. Weil was anderes gibt's ja jetzt auch nicht, wo man draufklicken kann.
Du kannst ja mal versuchen, ich gehe kurz eine Stange Wasser in der Ecke stellen.
Alles klar, ich probiere es einfach jetzt mal Hit Back of the Head einzuscannen.
Ich bin gleich wieder da, bis ich die Hälfte verpasst habe, ne? Wenn das richtig ist.
Ich versuche das einfach mal und wenn es stimmt, mache ich Pause. Alles klar, bis gleich. So. Ja, dann probieren wir es mal.
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined, correct?
The explosion didn't kill her for sure. Yes.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right? And then there's only one other thing.
Oh yeah. According to the Monokuma file, that's gotta be it. There was evidence that shows she was hit on the back of her head.
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her entire body.
Ja, okay, jetzt versuche ich es mal. Also, wenn das jetzt funktioniert, ansonsten haben wir halt unseren ersten Game Over. Das sind wir, dafür sind wir auch wirklich sehr weit gekommen.
The explosion didn't kill her for sure.
Well, yeah. She was already totally dead when that happened.
And it wasn't me because of the knife, right?
Fuck! Ja, das war's! Game over! We lose! We suck! Wir gehen mal duschen. Ja gut, in dem Fall macht es ja Sinn, dass wir diesmal halt beschuldigt werden. Upsi!
Nobody believes me. Nobody wants to hear what I have to say. Have we already come to an end of the debate? Well then, the class trial is officially adjourned. Now it's time to reveal who's the applicant.
Ja, wir sind's nicht.
It would appear that the one with the most votes is Makoto. However, Makoto's not the applicant. Too bad. Looks like the real killer gets the graduate. Congrats to them. On the other hand, everyone else must now be punished.
Is this really the end for all of us?
Wir machen natürlich weiter. So.
Nochmal!
Monokuma File.